Well, it's one of the most infamous occupational diseases, and it's made a resounding comeback in recent years, even with the decline in the coal industry. Now, we're talking about black lung. In a two-part series, our Anna Saunders is looking into the resurgence it's causing and why a rule that could help on the preventative side is still not being enforced.
You can see how much dust that you have on your face. It's in your lungs also.
In his 35 years working underground as a coal miner, it was typical for David Bounds to work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, with only one day off. But when it came time to retire in 2005, he certainly wasn't catching any breaks then either. He was struggling to even catch his breath.
It sneaks right up on you. Then you realize, hey, I've got black lung, and I can't do nothing.
Bounds, who lives in Oak Hill now, needs oxygen and nebulizer treatments just to get through the day.
I couldn't walk my dog out here if I wanted to. My wife has to do all that for me.
He started mining in 1969. By 1984, he was diagnosed with black lung.
You can't just walk off your job. So I thought, well, I'll just try to cope with it and try to do something about it. It was bigger than I was.
Bounds, just one of thousands in the state living with this disease, a deadly one that has no cure. The CDC estimates that about 20% of miners in Appalachia have black lung.
There's a large capacity there. There's a large capacity here.
Dr. Carl Wernz does black lung evaluations 3 days a month at the Cabin Creek Black Lung Clinic in Dawes. The Kanawha County Clinic opened 50 years ago in response to the growing need for black lung care. But the disease has recently seen a major resurgence with younger patients.
Not just people in their 70s and 80s with a little bit of black lung. These are people in their 40s and 50s with pretty advanced disease. I mean, it's crazy the amount of black lung we're seeing down here.
Wernz is usually one of the first stops for patients who have filed for black lung benefits. He can determine through testing and x-rays if someone has it, how advanced it is, and if they're disabled by it. He then can send that off to the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, who can determine the next steps. Here he compares a normal lung x-ray to someone with advanced disease.
Black lung is a disease of scar tissue. So the lungs are where you're supposed to be exchanging gases is converted into scar tissue, which doesn't exchange gas. And if that slowly progresses, you can't, it's harder and harder to get enough oxygen into your blood to be able to do anything.
It's caused by inhaling coal and silica dust. Miners are working in smaller seams, meaning they're mining not just coal, but silica-infused rock as well.
So if you're just mining coal, the dust in the mine is 1% silica. If you're mining 20 inches of coal and 20 inches of rock, the dust in your mine is 50% silica. And that's going to be a lot worse for the miners. That's a lot of the basis for the silica rule that was passed for miners, which has still not been implemented.
The silica rule came from the Mine Safety and Health Administration, or MSHA. It was passed in 2024 and aimed to put regulations on mines to measure and reduce silica. It's a rule that was supposed to go into effect in 2025, but has faced significant hurdles, a legal challenge, and pushback from coal operators concerned about the cost, enforcement, and implementation. It's currently held up in court.
So it's really frustrating when you see coal miners in their 20s and 30s, and they're walking around begging for air. And these people, they won't pass the bill. They won't enforce it. You wonder why? Why?
It's a question Dennis Odell has been asking for a long time. He's a former miner himself, but also worked on the health and safety side. He retired as the head administrator for occupational health and safety for the United Mine Workers of America International, covering all 50 states and Canada.
We're still having coal miners die of black lung. Both my grandfathers worked in the mines, and they had to face these kind of conditions because they didn't have the technology that we have for that. We're not doing enough. I mean, that should be a red flag to everybody.
For retired miners like Bounds, an enforced silica rule will not do anything for him at this stage in his life. But he wants better for all of the miners after him.
I want to make it better for them. I don't want them to go through the things I go through right now, even with the coal dust. I don't want them to come up 50 and 60 years old and just begging for breath when it's unnecessary.
In Kanawha County, Anna Saunders, Eyewitness News.
And this two-part series will continue on Monday after Monday Night Football, further exploring the history and where things stand now.